I finally got pulled over to where I wanted to shoot some video with the video camera, and we'll discuss the V-Strom 800DE in more detail. When we were talking on our last video, we're out on Highway 40 buzzing along about 65, and now we're just off of County Road 74 out in the boondocks in a place that I call Jimmy Dunn Gulch. This is one of my playgrounds that I come, if I'm going hunting or hiking or whatever, I come out here quite a bit, but there's nothing around here but hills, junipers and elk and deer and mountain lions and bears. So anyways, to get started, I wanted to tell you about the V-Strom. And as far as the motorcycle itself, I would 100% approve purchasing one of these bikes for touring as well as on and off-road riding. This bike here I purchased for going touring, national parks, whether I'm riding Highway 1 in California or if I'm going over to Arkansas, whatever I want to do, this motorcycle, that is the job to do that. Now, one thing I can tell you, it is a very, very comfortable motorcycle to ride. Talk about rideability of the bike. As I've stressed many times, I showed you on the road, you're going to do about 4,500 RPMs around 63 to 65 mile an hour. That to me is cruising speed of the motorcycle where it's smooth. You're getting 50 miles a gallon on the bike and you're not pushing it. Now, that's what I ride on the regular highways and stuff like that, and that's fine for me. I'm not a fast rider. On the interstates, you have no problem. If you want to go 70, 75, 80 mile an hour, it's not a problem. I did ride Highway 80 from Crescent Junction in Moffat County, or no, Wyoming, it might be Wyoming, yeah, out of Bags, over to Rollins, Wyoming on 80, and I had no problem at all doing 75 mile an hour down to Rollins. But like I say, gas mileage, stuff like that, you're looking at 65. Other than that, everything I like about the bike, it's great. When I was shopping for this motorcycle, I was really comparing pretty close to the KTM 890 Adventure. The 890 is a beautiful bike. It's nice. And the main reasons I went with the Suzuki is I did get the 5-year warranty with it, which I paid extra for that. And overall with the bike, with luggage and everything that came with it and the warranty, I paid about $15,000 for the whole thing. The KTM 890 was starting at $15,000 without luggage and everything. Plus, I didn't have the luggage at the time. I'd have to order it. So I went ahead and went with the Suzuki itself. Now, one of the main things I do like about the bike is I can tell you the seat is out of this world as far as comfortability goes. It's just out of this world. You've got the speed shifting with 6 gears. That works really nice. I found it to be working a little better after about 1,000 miles. It really broke in nice. What else can I tell you about the bike? The instrument panel itself, there's no Bluetooth, but you can read it with your eyes. You don't got to squint like on some bikes. Major downfall I would have with the 800, the one thing I don't like about the bike, but I guess I'll live with it, is you've got tubes and tires. I mean, I was really looking for a bike that was tubeless, so I could just have plugs on the bike as far as fixing flats, but no. This has got tubes in the tires, so that's kind of one of the reasons I say it's a KLR on steroids, because it's similar that way, tube tires, things like that. I don't know what else I can think of that you guys would have questions on. Overall, it's an adventure bike. I would ride it off-road if I was riding with the buddies, with 890s or Yamaha T7s, what have you. This bike would do fine getting along with those. Like I say, the main reason I don't ride off-road because I do have issues with picking up the bike, and I don't want to struggle with that. And I just assume ride where I'm going, and I like to shoot photos and videos. So a third of my rides is riding the bike, the next third is shooting the videos and the photos, and the other third is relaxing at camp. Okay, we're ready to do our walk around tour here, and I'm going to start with the front of the bike. You've got your LED lights, which they're fair at night. I'm not saying they're great, they're okay. I would definitely, I think, get some extra lighting if you're riding at night, which I really don't do, so I haven't considered that at this time. Now with the crash bars, you can put tool tubes As you can see here, I've got one tool tube mounted on those crash bars, which I've got some tools in there, patches and stuff like that. Now also too, when you purchase the bike, Suzuki, as far as I know, no longer gives you a tool kit like they used to do. So I did go down to a tool shop and I bought a 1/2 inch wrench along with the sockets to change the tires. And the two sockets, I couldn't give you the sizes right now, but the front and back are different. So I carry the wrench with me with the two sockets. It's a 1/2 inch that I carry for tire changes. So you're going to have that. And what other ratchet tools you might need as far as wrenches and stuff like that go. You do get a little itty bitty Phillips screwdriver, and I think that's about it. So along with that, tool tube on the crash bar, you come out with a heavy duty skid plate. I would say if I had any upgrades on that skid plate, I think I'd want it to be black. Have it, I think it's aluminum plate, yeah, but it's very tough. So it's not a plastic piece of junk. So you've got that, and if you change your oil, you got to drop the skid plate. Along with that, you got your plastic. This is similar to the KLR. You got these plastic things to protect your hand grips, which I guess is better than nothing. And I'm going to leave that for now. I did on the KLR. I had brush busters on the KLR. Maybe later I might do that. One thing I do have on this bike is I have this old KLR bag here that I keep on the handlebars. I did have a tank bag on the KLR, and it just seemed to scratch the daylights out. There's a Wolfman tank bag, and I'm not going that route again. You got your locking gas cap. Instrument panel wise, it's beautiful. It's easy to see. No Bluetooth, but one thing I think, I'm not for sure, between the T7 and the Suzuki, this guy here will tell you, you got 2 trip gauges. It tells you the average mileage that you're getting per trip. It also tells you when you're going to run out of gas, a number of miles there. So the fuel controls are great. As you can see, right now I'm just about down to 50 miles on this bike to go, and I'm done. 6-speed transmission. Traction control, you've got that. SDMS, to put a note on what that is there. And also the ABS. I have this set up for pretty strong ABS and traction control because mainly I'm on the asphalt with the bike. So gearing on it, I could say is a bit short. There's nothing tall on the gears, I would say. I mean, 3rd, 4th, 5th, easily go 55, 60, whatever you want to do. 6th gear, I hit that at about 60 miles an hour. Now looking at this seat here, this is what's beautiful. I mean, this seat is nice and padded. And also what I will add, I have a 30-inch inseam. Get this, 30-inch inseam. I'm flat-footed on this motorcycle. So that's a big advantage right there. You got to be flat-footed on these bikes. I'm going to move my Dayglow yellow jacket out of the way here. As far as luggage goes, let's take a look at that. I am satisfied with the luggage on the bike. No problems. I've opened and closed it 100 times out on my trip. Right now, these panniers are permanently attached to the bike, but there is a way to detach them, but you're going to need to take off some bolts to do that. I have not done that yet at this time, but if you're riding off-road, it's a good idea to have that availability to pull those panniers to be able to pick up the bike. Now, I can give you a little demo what these things look like here. I can open up, just got your key, and it pops up. And I can tell you, with all the camping that I've done, I'm okay with the panniers. They're waterproof. They work great. I have no problems. They're not cheap. They're not cheaply made, so they're good quality there. Another thing, similar to the KLR, since I rode one for 5 years, I have to tell you the similarities. You've got this plate on the back. That's where I put my duffel bag. I've got, I think, a 60-liter duffel bag I put on the back. And I've got my duffel bag straps here for the back as well as the front. So you have no problem carrying your duffel bag. Now what I'm going to do next year is I'm going to get the Suzuki trunk for this bike. I think I'm going to do that. And when you purchase the motorcycle, they give you the lock and key setup for your trunk if you want to purchase that additionally. Now also with this motorcycle too is I put a center stand on the bike. So that makes it just easier. If I have to change flats or oil the chain, I just put the bike on the center stand and oil the chain. And there's no big deal about putting one of those on the bike, so I highly recommend put a center stand on your V-Strom 800. You need one of those. And other than that, tires, I probably have to look up the specs on those. I like the tires. I buy another set of those. They're smooth on the road. They track good. Even on the dirt roads, which I rode out here today. I took several county roads to get out here, and maybe we can take a little ride with the GoPro coming out of here to show you what the roads look like here. And of course the panniers collect bugs like any other motorcycle. I haven't had a chance to clean those up yet. So other than that, guys, that's about it, I think. If you have any questions or anything like that, I can tell you I'm telling you as Joe motorcycle rider. I'm not telling you as a dealer or somebody that's writing a magazine or something. I'm just telling you from the amateur motorcycle ride how I like riding the V-Strom, and I love it. I can't wait for next summer. I'm looking forward to some rides on it, but it's the ideal motorcycle for me. It's not going to do like what your bigger bikes do with speeds and stuff like that, but you can't have everything in a motorcycle. You just can't have it. I mean, I bought it to go from point A to point B, and it's reasonable with traffic and stuff like that, and I'm sure, like I say, if you're riding off-road, I think you're good with that as well. So other than that, I'm going to cut this clip here and say so long, and I think we'll go ahead and take a ride home and call it a day. I can mention a little bit about this country out here. This is the Jimmy Dunn Gulch country, and this is an area that actually on the other side of Jimmy Dunn is where I live. I'm just minutes from it. So if I want to go elk hunting or anything like that during big game season, this is a place to go. The only bitch that I have about it is I have to pack an elk out. You know, if I shoot one, it's probably about a mile hike with a backpack and an elk, which places I usually go, I try to just get the elk and load them up on my ATV and go. So, but it is quiet. It's nice and peaceful. As you can see, no noise. So, Jimmy Dunn Gulch, guys, Northwest Colorado. I think we're in Routt County now. Routt County. See ya. Well, I'm going to start, and I'm riding out of the Jimmy Dunn Gulch area and heading, basically we're going to be heading southeast back to the house, but these roads I ride back here quite a bit. Normally with the WR250, I'll cruise these roads. I've got probably just around the house here a good day's worth of riding just on the dirt roads. And off to my right, that's Elkhead Creek, which flows on into the Elkhead Reservoir over there near Craig. Yeah, this beautiful country. I've got the sun in my eyes, but no worries. It's probably the last ride I'm going to have on this road till spring, because winter is coming up, and as I'm recording this audio today is actually Thanksgiving Day, and we are very close to our first snowstorm here, out here near the Hayden area, so probably it for motorcycles this year, but I'm really looking forward to next year on some good rides. I'm looking forward to the 800 DE as well as riding the WR. I'm hoping to get some longer rides than I've had this year, you know, along with work and stuff like that. It's just hard to get out on these longer motorcycle rides.